Hi. Like I said in my video regarding the first contact, I wanted to do a transcript for you. But I want to show you something here real quick. First of all, Billy goes on for several pages prior to his first observation, his first physical contact on 28 January. His first observation, that goes on for several pages. I'm not really doing this book right now, but it gives you an idea of what goes on with Billy in his life. He was actually introduced his first physical contact with a extraterrestrial Palladian when he was 5 years old. And we'll get into that later. But then he goes on, prior to his first contact, he goes on for several pages. But that would make this video 8 hours long. So we're going to start here. And I've already killed a minute. This might be several pages long, or several minutes long, but here we go. UFO woman. I'm going to substitute that for Semjase. You are a fearless human being. Meyer. I have unlearned fear and become objective. Semjase. I know, because I have studied you for years. Very nice. And why is this? Because I wanted to make something clear to you. Is nobody else suited for that? Surely. But we have provided you because you already occupy yourself for many years with this problem and think really and sincerely like this as well. Let me interject something right here. I had to photocopy this book. It was very hard to get, and I had to pay a lot of money just for the right to do it. This was back in the 80s. And part of the last word got cut off, so I'm going to try and figure that word out as I go. Also, it was in another language, and it's been translated, so some of the verbiage, like here it says, thanks for the flowers. He's basically saying thanks for the flattering. So you got to kind of use your, just understand this has been translated from the verbiage. And, okay. Thanks for the flowers. No reason, because they are of your own merit. Well, but who are you really? Just call me you, as I do as well to you. But who are you? I am called Semjase, and I originated in the Pleiades. In the Pleiades, surely. A nice walk, I would say. How did you perform such walk? Perhaps through hyperspace? Well, now she's calling herself Semjase, so that makes it easier. You often know more than we desire. Why so? I am closed-mouthed and no chatterbox. I know, and because of that, your knowledge is in the right place. I and others thus have no sorrows for that sake. Why have you obstructed the way toward your ship against me? What about the film in my camera? Has it been destroyed? Certainly not, and you at least shall have photo proofs. I see. I ought to publicize, but how I arrange such? You will, and later I will explain the way for you. Well then, but isn't this somewhat dangerous to leave your ship landed so openly when other human beings may pass along? Don't worry, because it is so provided that no other human being can come nearer than 500 meters in circumference around it. And besides this, the beam ship is protected by the forest and the hill against sight from very far. Yes, then I too became drawn into this meeting by myself alone. Yes, and you know why. I understand, unfortunately. When you also regret it, there is nothing to change this, nor in the future. I also understand, my dear fellow creatures. Surely, he's talking about his fellow human beings. Semjase, surely, their spiritual recognitions have a long way to go, but you have taken the trouble and have learned. You have found the truth and have acquired the knowledge. Because of this, you stand out from the great mass of human beings, and thus we have decided on you. You always say we. Does this mean that? Semjase, surely, I have already said that you often know more than may be pleasant for us. Please keep silence about this, because the truth is already difficult enough for the human beings. Meyer, I have never owned this knowledge, and consequently I also cannot tell about it. Semjase, you can also tell it as you do, and I know that you will hush. I know that you would even contest all of the whole event and offer it for fantasy if anyone should want to force you to speak. You really know me very well. Thus we have chosen you, but enough of the questions and answers. Do listen now very thoroughly to me, what I have to tell you. Write everything down and go to public with this then. Meyer, how can I, as I have nothing here for writing, also I have no recorder or anything similar? Semjase, no worry about that because you can write it down later. First of all, I will explain it to you all so that you have a survey. Hold on a sec. On the other hand, it is easier for me later. I put myself in connection with you and give this unto you your thoughts, for which you can then write it down word for word, everything very exactly. Are you thinking of the same manner in which you brought me here? Semjase, you really know too much and make all honor for us. Thank you. All right then, so do listen and only interrupt when you really do not understand. From this point on, all sentences spoken by any of the Pleiadians in a contact are numbered sequentially by contact for future reference. Have been asked to continue the numbering as to facilitate cross-check with the original version in German. Oh, this is going to be long. Hold on. I'm going to put something out here right now. This is going to go on for a few more pages, very extensive. So I'm going to stop this at the 10-minute mark, and then I'm going to start it again and do a part 2. And I don't think it'll go over 10 minutes on part 2. And forgive the being cut off on the side there, and I'll have to kind of work around that. Semjase, already for some time we have been urged to make contact with another Earth human being who really sincerely wants to be helpful to our mission. Already, very often we have tried this, but the human beings chosen were not knowledgeable enough and willing, and also lacked sincerity and loyalty. And those we had selected for our endeavors feared for themselves and kept silence about our appearing. They insist they would be abused for insanity and may be harmed by official and stupid human intrigues and be accused of lying. But despite that, many boastful humans have come up, pretending contact with us and pretending even having flown in the ships. Those are nothing more than deceivers who sun themselves in doubtful glory and want to profit from all. Earth humans have whole organizations which trouble themselves to explain our beam shits, but above all, there exist a few that really were authentic. They have many photos, but expose nothing more than some lights and light appearances of natural origin, or quite conscious and falsifications. Only very few of these photo proofs, are authentic and really show our beam ships. Most of these photos are only creations of photographical deceit manufactured by cheaters and charlatans whose names become known worldwide by this. Their books and manuscripts written from this position are also a deception for purpose of reputation and self-glory. On the other hand, many dare to connect us with the human religions, which we want no concern in any way or any time. Your so-called sects don't shrink from this step and themselves deceive their fellow creatures by such belief. These infamous and primitive machinations should stop before the whole world is overcome by such. If these deceivers were really in contact with us and remain so, then we would have offered them a chance to get very clear photographic proof of our beam ships. But as they are really not sincere humans, we have not given this chance to them. For evidence of this fact of truth, we gave you the chance to make distinct pictures of one of our beam ships. Yet also further on, we will offer a chance for you to obtain still better and clear picture evidence. The Earth human beings call us extraterrestrials or star people, or however he wants. He addicts to us supernatural things and does not know us. Lost my. Does not know us in the least. In truth, we are human beings like the earth human being, too, but our knowledge and wisdoms are superior to his, as well as our technology. All right, the earth human has taken his first very small step towards cosmic spaceflight, but this is no more than the first primitive attempt. Even if he would reach the moon by his missiles, he has not reached cosmic space. By the hitherto manner, he would never reach it at any time for necessary. This is an impulsion which is able to penetrate the hyperspace and dissolve the infinite distances. Space and time are not overcome by space and time, by spacelessness and timelessness, which... Okay, I'm going to end this now. I'm going to give it a few seconds, and I will do a part 2.